Hi everyone, my name is Gautam Gupta and I want to welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Universal Fundamentals. In this video, I'm going to continue my series on the 2025 Vedic Astrology yearly predictions for all the 12 ascendants and moon signs and how these planetary transits will be affecting you based on your ascendant and moon sign. In this video, I will be talking about Virgo ascendants and moon signs. Now, 2025 is going to be a monumental year because all of the slower moving planets will be changing signs at some point in 2025. And this will bring huge changes to everyone's life depending on what your ascendant and moon sign are. And when I talk about the slower moving planets, I am talking about the nodes Rahu and Ketu, Jupiter, as well as Saturn. All of these planets will be changing signs in the coming year of 2025. And in fact, Jupiter will travel through 3 signs as it will be moving pretty quickly in 2025. Now, before I begin this discussion in detail, I do want to remind everyone to please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com, where you can learn more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer. You can also check out the various services that I offer, and I will be leaving links down below so you all can check that out in more detail. I also want to remind everyone that I do practice sidereal Vedic astrology and not Western tropical astrology. Also, if you find this video to be helpful and useful, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. Doing so will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm so this video can reach a vast audience. So with that being said, I will now begin discussing how all of these planetary transits will affect a Virgo ascendant and or moon sign for the year 2025. So the first important transit I want to start discussing for a Virgo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your 6th house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this will be great for maintaining strong health and good relations with your coworkers and or employees. You will continue to be able to address conflicts with ease, and you won't have to deal too much opposition for the remainder of this transit. Now, with Saturn's third aspect to your 8th house, this does tell me that you will continue to put in a lot of effort to maintain good relations with your in-laws if you are married. And you will also put in a lot of effort when it comes to maintaining your joint assets as well. But I do think with this aspect, you will be nicely protected in this area. You will also continue to be protected from unexpected events, so this means you will enjoy some stability and peace of mind. And with Saturn's 7th aspect to your 12th house, this tells me that you will continue to do a good job when it comes to keeping your expenses in check. You will be able to control your spending at this time, and this will help with your financial situation. And finally, with Saturn's 10th aspect to your 3rd house, this tells me that you will be continuing to put in a lot of effort when it comes to maintaining your relationships with your younger siblings and or neighbors. You will also put in a lot of effort in projects related to your short stories, articles, and social media ventures. Now, a very powerful aspect about this is that transiting Jupiter in Taurus is also aspecting the 3rd house, and this is creating a point of manifestation. So therefore, you will continue to have opportunities to flourish in your 3rd house matters. This point of manifestation in your 3rd house of Scorpio will continue until March 29th of 2025, which is when transiting Saturn will go into the sign of Pisces. Now, the next important transit I want to discuss for a Virgo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Jupiter will continue to remain in your 9th house of Taurus until May 14th of 2025. And a very important event that is occurring on February 4th of 2025 is that transiting Jupiter will be turning direct at 17 degrees of Taurus. So if you happen to have a planet that is around 14 to 20 degrees of Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, and or Capricorn, then you're going to have many blessings and successes blossoming due to any opportunities you may have seized during the first 2 weeks of July 2024. This will be incredible for things related to your 9th house matters, such as your luck and fortune, spiritual progress, father, teachers, and or higher education matters. This will also be beneficial for your first house matters such as your health and self-development. This will also be great for your third house matters such as your relationships with either your younger siblings or neighbors. This will also be great for getting out your short stories, articles, and social media projects. And short distance traveling will go very nicely for you as well. This will also be amazing for your fifth house matters, such as your children and investments. You will have a very strong bond with your children for the remainder of this transit, and your investments will do extremely well, and things are going to immensely work out in your favor. Now, another important transit I want to mention is that transiting Venus will be exalted in your seventh house of Pisces from January 27th of 2025 until May 30th of 2025. And while it is in the sign of Pisces, it will be forming a mutual exchange with transiting Jupiter, which is in your ninth house of Taurus up until May 14th of 2025. Now, the reason why I want to talk about Venus being in Pisces is because this is going to be a special transit. Venus normally stays in one sign for about a month, but this time it will be staying in the sign of Pisces for about 4 months, which is due to the fact that transiting Venus will be turning retrograde from March 2nd of 2025 until April 14th of 2025. And while Venus remains direct in your seventh house, this will actually enhance your relationships. You will find yourself getting along extremely well with either your business partners and or significant other. There will be a sense of mutual cooperation, understanding, and respect while Venus is direct. You may even find a sense of love and devotion coming from your business partners and or significant other. Now, one thing you have to be aware of is that Venus will turn retrograde from March 2nd of 2025 until April 14th of 2025. And this will be a transit where you have to exercise caution and care. You will have to be extremely careful when it comes to your relationships with business partners and or significant others. There could be some misunderstandings and conflicts that arise due to Venus being retrograde in your seventh house. Remember, when an exalted planet turns retrograde, it starts to behave like a debilitated planet. So Venus will not be operating at its best from that time frame. So please be extremely careful with the types of discussions and conversations that you have with either your business partners and or significant others. Now, the good news is that once Venus turns direct after April 14th of 2025, both parties should be able to resolve any outstanding conflicts quickly and nicely. Now, while Venus is going to be in your seventh house of Pisces, it is going to be conjunct with Rahu in your seventh house, and Ketu is going to be in your first house of Virgo until May 29th of 2025. And this transit is going to prompt you to continue to focus on your relationships with your business partners and or significant others. However, with Ketu being in your first house, you may continue to feel a sense of disconnect and aloofness from the people around you. But the good news is that Jupiter is casting its fifth aspect to your first house, where transiting Ketu is, and this aspect will last until May 14th of 2025. So you will have some guidance and optimism when it comes to navigating these issues. Now, an extremely important part about this transit, starting March 29th, 2025, transiting Saturn will also join Rahu in your seventh house of Pisces. And this is going to really change things to a completely different level. You will start to find that business partners and or significant others become a bit more demanding than usual. So you will have to continue to exercise clear boundaries and clear communication to ensure all parties' needs are met and respected. The good news is that once Rahu leaves its conjunction after May 29th of 2025, things will become a lot easier to handle. However, with transiting Saturn into your seventh house of Pisces, you will have to exercise a lot of duty, commitment, and sacrifices within your relationships in order for them to be successful. And with Saturn's third aspect to your ninth house, This tells me that you will have to apply a lot of effort to maintain good relations with either your father and or teachers. There could be a lot of things that you may need to do for them, and it will take time and energy to make things work. You will also have to apply some effort when it comes to your higher education studies. Shortcuts will not be appreciated, so be prepared to put in the work. But while Jupiter is in the ninth house until May 14th of 2025, I do see a certain amount of protection and growth when it comes to your higher education and your relationships with your father and teachers. This will be due to the fact that Saturn's third aspect to your ninth house and Jupiter transiting the ninth house of Taurus until May 14th of 2025 is providing a point of manifestation. So I do think just for that time frame, you will be protected regarding your ninth house areas. However, once Jupiter leaves the sign of Taurus, then you will have to be extremely careful and apply even more effort when it comes to maintaining the areas related to your ninth house matters. Then, with Saturn's seventh aspect to your first house, this tells me that health matters will become more prominent to you. There could be some issues concerning your health, so it will be important to prioritize your well being over all other matters. Now, the good news is that up until May 14th of 2025, Jupiter will also cast its fifth aspect to your first house. So you will have a good amount of protection and stability when it comes to your health and self-development due to its point of manifestation. However, once transiting Jupiter leaves the sign of Taurus after May 14th of 2025, you will have to be extra careful when it comes to managing and taking care of your health and well-being. And finally, with Saturn's 10th aspect to your fourth house, this tells me that there could be some karmic obligations that you may have towards your mother, real estate, vehicle, and or domestic life. So I do think you will be focusing a lot of your time on this area. Now, the good news is that after May 14th of 2025, transiting Jupiter will enter the sign of Gemini, which is in your 10th house, and it will cast its seventh aspect to your fourth house of Sagittarius, and this will create a point of manifestation. So while transiting Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, this will actually give you great opportunities to connect with your mother and form a very deep and long-lasting connection if she is still alive. Now, one thing I want to mention about the Saturn transit in Pisces is that the Rahu and Saturn conjunction in the sign of Pisces will last from March 29th of 2025 until May 29th of 2025. Then after May 29th of 2025, transiting Saturn will remain in the sign of Pisces until June 2nd of 2027. And then it will return back to the sign of Pisces from October 20th of 2027, and it will stay in the sign of Pisces until February 22nd, 2028. Now, the next important transit that I want to talk about is that transiting Jupiter is going to enter your 10th house of Gemini starting on May 15th of 2025, and it's going to go through the entire sign of Gemini throughout the next 5 months. So after October 18th of 2025, transiting Jupiter will briefly enter your 11th house of Cancer, but it will return back into the sign of Gemini on December 5th of 2025 and will remain in your 10th house of Gemini until June 1st of 2026. And while Jupiter is in your 10th house of Gemini, this is going to open up many opportunities to excel in your career, workplace, social standing, and reputation. These areas in your life are going to move forward very quickly since Jupiter will transit the entire sign within 5 months. And this will allow you to really get things done regarding your 10th house areas. Now, with Jupiter's fifth aspect to your second house, this tells me that family and financial matters will be working out extremely well and in your favor throughout this transit. And financial matters may be improving due to your success within your workplace. It's possible that you will receive a nice bonus and or raise, which can really help elevate your financial standing. So make sure you put that money into good use. You will also have a lot of family gatherings, which can help you feel more connected to your family members. You will be able to form a deep connection with them throughout this transit, and you will be feeling more confident in general. And this can help with your communication skills and getting your point across effectively, where people will listen and want to cooperate with you. Then, with Jupiter's seventh aspect to your fourth house, this tells me that your relationship with your mother and issues related to your real estate, vehicles, and domestic life will be doing extremely well throughout this transit. And this will especially be due to the fact that transiting Saturn in your seventh house of Pisces is casting its 10th aspect to your fourth house, which is providing a point of manifestation. So make sure you take advantage of this positive energy related to your fourth house matters so that you can build a strong connection to your mother. And finally, with Jupiter's ninth aspect to your sixth house, this tells me that you'll be getting along quite nicely with your coworkers and or employees. And they will be very cooperative and supportive when it comes to your career growth this year. So make sure you take advantage of this transit and make sure you maintain good relationships with them because these are the people who will greatly help and support you. Also, health matters will become quite strong and in your favor. So just make sure you do a good job maintaining your health and immune system. Now, the next important transit that I will be discussing for a Virgo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Rahu will be going into your sixth house of Aquarius and transiting Ketu will be going into your 12th house of Leo starting on May 29th of 2025. And it is going to remain in these signs until November 24th of 2026. And this is going to create another big shift when it comes to your health, coworkers, employees, daily work routine, as well as any past issues and spiritual progress. Now, with transiting Ketu into your 12th house of Leo, this tells me that you are going to take a much more spiritual approach overall when it comes to dealing with any issues in your life. And this is going to make you feel a lot more freer and more liberated because you will have the potential to let go of a lot of things that are no longer conducive to your life. However, while you are contemplating about your past, you may have some temporary sleep issues at night, so it will be important to prioritize that for good health. I also see a lot of opportunities to travel internationally and learn about spirituality through different cultures. And this will give you perspectives like you've never had before. Now, with Ketu's fifth aspect to your fourth house, this tells me that you will take a much more spiritual approach when it comes to interacting and connecting with your mother, as well as when it comes to dealing with issues related to your domestic life, real estate, and or vehicle matters. And this spiritual approach will help cultivate a deeper understanding with your mother, especially since Jupiter in Gemini is aspecting your fourth house as well until October 18th of 2025. Now, with Ketu's ninth aspect to your eighth house, this tells me that you will take a much more spiritual approach when it comes to dealing with any joint asset issues, as well as any issues related to your in laws. You may even feel a sense of detachment during this transit when it comes to these areas. And in a way, that is a good thing because you will take an unbiased approach when it comes to dealing with any major issues. This is also a great aspect for learning occult or metaphysical sciences or even psychology. Then, with transiting Rahu into your sixth house, this tells me that you're going to most definitely stay on top of your health and exercise routine. This will be an excellent transit for your health, and you will be able to pinpoint and overcome any challenges related to your health rather quickly. This is also a favorable transit for resolving any conflicts with coworkers and or employees. You will have the intelligence and aptitude to deal with any difficulties, and this will put you on top. However, because Jupiter is also aspecting your sixth house, I actually don't see too many obstacles arising in the first place. And another important aspect about this transit is that while Jupiter is transiting through your 10th house of Gemini, transiting Rahu in your 6th house will be casting its fifth aspect to transiting Jupiter in your 10th house. And in return, transiting Jupiter will cast its ninth aspect to your 6th house of Aquarius, forming a mutual aspect. And they will both be aspecting your second house of Libra, which represents your money, finances, and family. This means that there are going to be lots of opportunities for growth and expansion within your finances, family, and money. You will find yourself doing extremely well in these areas and you will flourish big time. So keep all of this in mind as you navigate this transit. Now, the final transit I want to discuss for a Virgo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Jupiter will briefly enter your 11th house of Cancer from October 18th of 2025 until December 5th of 2025. And it will turn retrograde on November 11th of 2025 at just under 1 degree of Cancer. So while Jupiter is transiting your 11th house during this short window of time, this is actually going to give you a preview as to what to expect when transiting Jupiter officially enters your 11th house of Cancer again during the summer of 2026. So I want you to really pay attention to the events that do happen over the course of these 6 weeks, because you will end up receiving the blessings and opportunities of these events in the summer of 2026 when Jupiter officially enters the sign of Cancer. So when Jupiter enters your 11th house of Cancer for about these 6 weeks, you may be thinking about joining new groups and organizations. And this may be a time when you start to attend networking events and start introducing yourself to new people at this time. Or it's quite possible that you yourself might be introduced to some new people. And in fact, these people can be quite influential and powerful. And these people would generally have your best interest. So make sure you take the time to get to know them, because once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer in the summer of 2026, you will be able to successfully execute these plans. This is also a transit where you might be connecting with your friends and older siblings as well. And you may also be brainstorming some new income sources as well. Now, with Jupiter's fifth aspect to your third house, you will have an opportunity to start forming deep connections with either your younger siblings and or neighbors. You may start seeing each other more often, and this will encourage open communication that is healthy and conducive. You may also even start thinking about writing short stories and or articles, or even thinking about doing a social media project. Now, once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer during the summer of 2026, you will start to execute these actions very successfully and quickly. Then, with Jupiter's seventh aspect to your fifth house, this will give you a preview of the types of interactions and connections you will be having with your children. And once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer in 2026, you will officially have the opportunity and success to form these connections. This is also a good transit to consider any speculative investments that you might be interested in. And finally, with Jupiter's ninth aspect to your seventh house, this will give you a preview of the types of interactions and connections you will have with your business partners and or spouse. And for those of you who are single, you may be meeting new connections that could either help your love life and or business and self-employment. And once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer in the summer of 2026, these connections will become a lot more stronger. So this is what I wanted to cover regarding what's going to happen for a Virgo ascendant and or moon sign for the year 2025. I hope you guys got something out of this. Once again, if you found this video to be useful, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button. Doing so will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm so this video can reach a vast audience. Also, if you're new to my channel and would like to see similar videos like this in the future, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on that bell notification. And if you would like to know more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer, then please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.